Imagine living in a world where the sound of distant horse hooves meant only one thing. Your city was about to disappear. For centuries, one name struck fear into kings, warriors, and entire civilizations. A man whose empire stretched farther than anyone had ever imagined. Some called him a ruthless conqueror. Others saw him as a military genius. But who was the man behind the legend? How did an orphan born into a small Mongol tribe become the ruler of the largest continuous land empire in history? This is the extraordinary story of Genghis Khan. Welcome to History Uncovered. Around the year 1162, a boy named Temüjin was born on the harsh grasslands of Mongolia. Life on the Mongolian steppe was unforgiving. Families survived by hunting, herding animals, and constantly moving across the vast plains in search of food and water. From a very young age, Temüjin learned how to ride horses, hunt with a bow, and survive in one of the toughest environments on Earth. But his childhood would soon be shattered. When Temüjin was only 9 years old, his father, a respected tribal leader, was poisoned by a rival tribe. His death changed everything. Without a leader, Temüjin's family was abandoned by their own tribe. Left alone on the endless steppe, they struggled to survive. Food became scarce. Winter brought freezing temperatures. Many days passed without enough to eat. Temüjin and his family survived by catching fish, hunting small animals, and gathering wild plants. Every day became a fight for survival. But hardship only made him stronger. As he grew older, Temüjin realized that strength alone was not enough. To survive in Mongolia, he needed loyal allies. He slowly gathered followers from different tribes, offering them something they had rarely experienced: fairness. Unlike many tribal leaders, Temüjin promoted people based on their skill and loyalty rather than their family background. A poor warrior could rise to become a respected commander if he proved himself in battle. This unusual approach earned him the trust of many talented fighters. But unity came at a price. Many rival tribes refused to follow him. The Mongolian steppe became a battlefield. For years, Temüjin fought against powerful enemies who wanted to destroy him before he became too strong. Battle after battle, he defeated one rival after another. His army moved with incredible speed. Every soldier was an expert horseman. They could ride for days without stopping and fire arrows with deadly accuracy, even while galloping at full speed. This made the Mongol warriors unlike any army the world had ever seen. In 1206, after years of conflict, the Mongol tribes finally united. Temüjin was given a new title: Genghis Khan. The exact meaning of the title is still debated by historians, but it is often understood as universal ruler or oceanic ruler. For the first time in history, the Mongol tribes stood together under a single leader. But Genghis Khan had no intention of stopping there. He believed that the world beyond the Mongolian steppe was filled with wealthy kingdoms waiting to be conquered. Soon his armies marched south toward northern China. Fortified cities that had stood for generations suddenly found themselves surrounded by thousands of Mongol horsemen. Kingdom after kingdom began to fall. But it wasn't only the Mongols' speed that terrified their enemies. Genghis Khan was also a brilliant strategist. He used spies to gather information before attacking. He often divided his army into smaller groups, confusing enemy commanders and striking from unexpected directions. Sometimes his soldiers pretended to retreat, tricking their enemies into chasing them. Then, without warning, the Mongols turned around and launched a devastating counterattack. It was a strategy that brought victory again and again. As news of his conquests spread across Asia, fear spread even faster. Many cities surrendered without a fight, simply because they had heard the stories of Genghis Khan's unstoppable army. The Mongol Empire was growing rapidly. But the greatest and most dangerous campaigns of Genghis Khan's life were still ahead. His next invasion would change the course of world history forever. After securing control of the Mongol tribes, Genghis Khan turned his attention toward the great empires that surrounded Mongolia. His armies advanced with incredible speed, crossing deserts, mountains, and endless grasslands that many believed were impossible to conquer. One of his greatest campaigns was against the Khwarezmian Empire, a powerful kingdom stretching across parts of modern-day Central Asia. At first, Genghis Khan wanted peace. He sent a caravan of merchants to establish trade between the two empires. But everything changed when local officials accused the merchants of being spies and had them executed. Hoping to avoid war, Genghis Khan sent ambassadors to demand justice. Instead of listening, the ruler of the Khwarezmian Empire humiliated them. According to historical accounts, one ambassador was executed, while others were badly mistreated and sent back. For Genghis Khan, this was more than an insult. It was a declaration of war. The Mongol army launched one of the most remarkable military campaigns in history. City after city fell before them. Their speed, discipline, and battlefield tactics overwhelmed even the strongest defenses. Many rulers believed their massive walls would stop the Mongols. They were wrong. Genghis Khan used careful planning, psychological warfare, and intelligence gathered by scouts to stay one step ahead of his enemies. His reputation spread across Asia and beyond. Some cities surrendered without resistance, hoping to avoid destruction. Others chose to fight and paid a terrible price. Although Genghis Khan is remembered as one of history's greatest conquerors, historians also recognize his achievements beyond the battlefield. He encouraged trade across his vast empire, making travel along the Silk Road safer for merchants than it had been for centuries. Different cultures, ideas, technologies, and goods moved more freely between East and West. He also introduced laws designed to maintain order and discipline throughout the empire. People from different religions were often allowed to practice their beliefs, and talented individuals could rise in rank based on ability rather than noble birth. In 1227, during a military campaign, Genghis Khan died. The exact cause of his death remains one of history's greatest mysteries. Some believe he died from illness. Others suggest he was injured after falling from his horse. The truth has never been confirmed. Even his burial place remains unknown to this day. After his death, his sons and grandsons continued expanding the Mongol Empire. At its greatest extent, it became the largest continuous land empire in human history, stretching from Eastern Europe to the Pacific Ocean. Today, Genghis Khan remains one of the most influential and controversial figures ever to live. To some, he was a ruthless conqueror whose campaigns caused immense destruction. To others, he was a brilliant leader who united divided tribes, transformed military strategy, and reshaped the course of world history. His legacy continues to spark debate among historians even after more than 800 years. Whether remembered as a hero, a conqueror, or a legend, one thing is certain. Few individuals have changed the world as dramatically as Genghis Khan. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this documentary, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to History Uncovered, and turn on the notification bell for more fascinating stories from history. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and keep uncovering history.